Today we're going to take a look at Peaky Blinders, The King's Ransom, a new story-driven game out today for the Quest 2 and Pico 4 for $29.99. If you've never heard of the Peaky Blinders, it is a show about gangsters in the early 1920s. You play the game as Samuel Taylor, who joins the Peaky Blinders after getting in trouble for deserting the war. In exchange for clearing your name, you're tasked with finding and returning a box that was stolen from Winston Churchill. Although the game features stunning environments and a captivating story, the campaign is brief. Completing it took me about 3 hours, and almost half of that time was spent watching unskippable dialogue scenes. While I was anticipating a first-person shooter experience, the game is more of a mystery narrative with occasional shooting elements. Each level typically begins with a character from the show delivering a monologue. That follows you walking through an environment and locating a letter or some clue, and then finally delivering it to another character who will engage in a lengthy conversation before you advance to the next level. Although the graphics and environments are very visually impressive, the game's performance suffered in some instances, occasionally dropping to what felt like 10 frames per second. It's worth noting that I was recording while playing, which can massively impact performance. However, there is an update to launch on Monday, which claims to improve the performance among other things. One aspect that stood out to me were the game's environments. Maze Theory did a fantastic job in crafting immersive, detailed settings that were a joy to explore. As someone who appreciates the visuals in VR games, I found myself taking extra time to just look around and appreciate the game's stunning scenery. It seems like there are some unconventional choices when it comes to the game's mechanics. For instance, your character's holster is occupied by cigarettes, a lighter, and a gun, while the ammo must be scavenged from red boxes that are scattered throughout the environment. While the inclusion of cigarettes and a lighter may be a nod to the game's 1920s settings, it feels peculiar that they would take priority over ammo or anything else more crucial. Additionally, the game only allows walking or teleporting with no option to run. There is a missed opportunity for the cigarettes to provide a power-up, such as allowing your character to run or healing them after getting shot. Then their inclusion would have made more sense. However, as it stands, they feel like a wasted mechanic that could have been better utilized. The game's difficulty leans towards the easier side, as it does a good job of keeping players on a clear path with minimal opportunity to get lost. The most challenging moments in the game are usually during shootouts, but even then, you can easily recover from your injuries by just crouching in a corner for a few moments. If you're seeking an additional challenge, there are tarot cards and broken radios hidden throughout the game. While fixing the radios or collecting the cards may be enjoyable, they don't offer any unlockable rewards or tangible benefits. While the game is far from perfect, I had a lot of fun in it. I wouldn't recommend it to someone who can only buy a new game once every 6 months, but if you could get past the drawbacks, you could have fun, especially if you're a fan of the Peaky Blinders TV show. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is Andy's VR Reviews.